We welcome you to another live edition of the Sports Box, brought to you by our sponsor, Showcase Sports in Hamilton. Showcase Sports for the elite athlete. And by our friends over at CrowdPlay. Download the free CrowdPlay app today and check them out at www.crowdplayapp.com for details. Ladies and gentlemen, it's showtime.
Hey everybody, welcome to the One on TNT One recap show. I am your host, D-Bake of Cage My IQ. What an opening show for the One on TNT debut in the USA. We had controversy, we had a title defense, and then we had a great showing by the Prodigy in the Muay Thai main event. That's all I gotta say. But what a way to open the recap than to start with the controversy we had in the first bout, which was a bout between Eddie Alvarez and Yuri Lapakis, which ended in a DQ. As you can see right there, you had Eddie Alvarez pointing to his ear. What happened was he was able to take Lapakis down pretty easily in the first round, and then as he did that, he was pounding on Lapakis, and Lapakis was blocking his ear with his hand. So he hit his ear once, he hit his hand, but then as Lapakis was turning his head, which he probably shouldn't have done, Eddie hit him in the back of the head, which caused the ref to call the fight by DQ. As you can see right there, he pulls the red card out, which means medical DQ. And apparently they had called it first a no contest, but it was turned into a loss by DQ for Eddie Alvarez, which in the media, Eddie Alvarez was pretty distraught and pretty angry when speaking to him, saying that if it wasn't for him turning his head, which he probably shouldn't have done, he wouldn't have got hit in the back of the head. That was all Lapakis's fault. And then if you look on the media, and then in social media, all the UFC fighters are saying that if it wasn't for the move of the head, which was Lapakis's decision, he wouldn't have gotten hit there. And he definitely got knocked out. He was definitely losing the fight. He was going to lose the fight by KO. But it seemed like, to me, it seems like this was the way for Lapakis to get out of losing and for it to be at least a no contest. But I think worst comes to worst, Eddie had asked them to look at the tapes and to reverse the decision. I think at worst they should change it from a DQ loss to a no contest, and then they should think about running this back, because Eddie Alvarez was definitely dominating the fight. He knocked him down, got him down, and then was throwing blows at him, which Yuri was not blocking at all. He was getting knocked out no matter what. So it's either give Eddie the win or make it a no contest and have him run it back, because that decision there was very controversial, and I don't agree with it. But that's what they did, and let's hope they change the decision when they look back at it. Moving on to the second fight that we had was basically the main event, but they did it first. It was a nice it says bantamweight championship matchup, but it was a flyweight championship. They consider it flyweight, but it's already bantamweight, where we saw the champion Adriano Moraes defeat Demetrius Money Mouse Johnson by second round KO. This was a nice matchup going into it. I was leery to expect what both fighters were going to do when they got into it, because it's very high octane. Both have great pace. And I think Demetrius Johnson was fighting the perfect fight. The first round probably could have went edge to Moraes with the takedown that he had, but in the second round, Johnson was picking up the pace, and he was starting to figure out what to do against Moraes. But then he made one small mistake where he was getting up from getting thrown down, and Moraes made him pay for it with the knee. He first caught him with the right uppercut, which stunned Demetrius Johnson. He should have waited a second and then got up, and then was smarter with trying to get up. But he went to get up right away, and then Moraes caught him with the left knee, which knocked him out. And then the ref finished the fight there. He called for the fight, and Adrian Moraes retains his championship. Everybody just picks against him all the time. Even I did. I picked Demetrius Johnson here, but he just proves people wrong every time. And I think the saying goes, it's time to put some respect on Adriano Moraes' name. He is the face of the division for a reason, and I could totally see Demetrius Johnson getting a fight in the fall. He did mention in the media that he was looking for his next fight to be in the fall. I could see that being a fight to where he can work his way back to another shot at Moraes. As long as Moraes is still the champion, I would assume so. But I still see Demetrius Johnson get a second shot at the belt. It's just a matter of when. And then it could still be Moraes. I'm interested to see who they place in front of Moraes next. But things are looking up for him. He's still got youth on his side. He's defended the belt with grace, and he's looked good. Demetrius Johnson was the heavy favorite going into this, and he beat him, which was the first loss in years for Johnson. You could say Cejudo matchup was. A lot of people said they think Johnson won that, but Cejudo did. But this was more. This was a more better defeat because he actually beat Johnson. He finished him in the second round. He had said that he was going to finish him within 3 rounds, and instead of submitting him, he wanted to finish him, and that's what he did. So keep his name in your head for the future because he could be the one champion for a while now. Moving on to the main event, which should have probably been the opening fight, but because the champion is a prodigy, they probably saved the best for last. The main event was a Muay Thai bout between Rotang Jimangin, who defeated a replacement Daniel Mini T Williams. He was put in place of Rotang's former opponent, who bowed out a week or two ago, and he came in here, and Williams said that he was going to be a different fighter for Rotang to fight. And boy, what a show these guys put on. Rotang defeated him. I believe they didn't show it on the scorecard, but I can only assume he won by a narrow margin because of the second round, which he got a 10-8 scorecard for that one. But this Rotang's a guy that you don't want to go head to head with, and everybody expected Daniel Williams to be tough, but to circle around the ring, take his chances here and there, but to run. But he stood toe to toe with Rotang all 3 rounds. He was returning blow for blow with them, and I applaud him for that. He made it, even in defeat. Daniel Williams made a name for himself in this fight. He came out in the first round. He knocked down Rotang. Rotang was a little out of it mentally. He kind of went too crazy after that, and Daniel Williams was able to take the first round. But Rotang definitely calmed down in between rounds. Came out, and just like in Rotang fashion, he took it up another notch and knocked down Williams with a nice shot, and then kept on giving him with the kicks instead of his punches. He kept on kicking him in the stomach, in the side, and the leg. He was wearing down Williams, and then he hit him with a nice elbow, which cut open Daniel Williams above his eye. And then he took round 2, 10-8. Then the third round was kind of a hit or miss between both, but Rotang kept on attacking him. Daniel Williams hit him with a nice shot, which opened up Rotang in a similar spot. They called the fight for a few seconds so they could brush off the blood off of each fighter, but then the last minute was just them returning blows to each other. And then at the end of the bout, they named Ratang the victor by unanimous decision, which was the right call because the second round, had they have done it 10-9 instead of 10-8, this fight could have been a tie, or if they would have gave the third round to Williams, this could have been a tie, which would have been a crazy output there because he wasn't expected to be as good as he was. He's probably put up the best fight with Ratang that anybody else has in the past few fights of Ratang's winning streak. He's been on a roll. He's been, just like I said, he's the prodigy. He's 23 years old. He's fought so much. And he's been dominant doing it. But Dana Williams took everything that he had, kept on coming. So I would like to see them in the future fight again. But in the post-fight, Ratang said he'd like to take his chances with the kickboxing championship now. So that'd be something to look forward to in the future. And then I was pretty impressed with these prelims that they had. They had pretty good prelims. I just want to mention Omar Kane, who is a guy to watch in one championship. He destroyed his opponent in the opening bout, and then he challenged heavyweight champion Brandon Vera, said that's who he wants next. So keep an eye on the matchmaking for that to see if Vera accepts Kane's proposal to the title fight, and then to see what happens next with that. But other than that, that is a wrap of the One on TNT One championship recap. Next week there will be a coming back same time next Wednesday for One on TNT 2, which will show the main event, which is Christian Lee defending his championship, which is going to be a great matchup in itself. And then we got a few other matchups that are solid in itself, but they definitely opened up with controversy, but then edited it with two nice matchups and a nice prelim on top of it. So keep an eye for the rest of the month, every Wednesday at 10 for One on TNT. On TNT Network. And then if you want to watch the prelims, they usually start at 8:30 Eastern time, and they're shown on Bleacher Report or Bleacher Report YouTube. So definitely check those out. This is a little different from UFC and Bellator and whatnot, but they put on a great show, and I'm excited to see the next three fight cards that they have now that they're showing it in the USA. But I am D-Beak, the host of Cage My IQ. You can find us out on all of our social media platforms. Like I usually tell you guys right there, check us out below on those handles for Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. And then check out our affiliate at the Sports Box, which those handles right there for Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And then subscribe to their YouTube channel. Definitely send me a comment on our YouTube channel at Cage My IQ. Let us know what you think of the one and how they did on TNT, and then let me know what you think of the results, and then get back to me with that. And subscribe to our channel, follow it, and then just have fun watching all this content that we have, because we have all these platforms now for different organizations in MMA, and it's the best time to be an MMA fan. But I am your host, D-Bake, and you guys have a nice night.
Thank you for watching this episode of Cage My IQ on the Sports Box. Please remember to follow us on all of our social media outlets. On Facebook at Sportsbox Show, Twitter at Sportsbox Show, Instagram at The Sportsbox Show. Find us on YouTube and join Outside the Box, our Facebook sports discussion group. The Sports Box is brought to you by our sponsor, Showcase Sports in Hamilton. Showcase Sports for the elite athlete. And also our friends over at CrowdPlay. Download the free CrowdPlay app today and use promo code THEBOX at sign up for 10 free points. Thank you for joining us.